It all clicked into place in his foggy brain. The cabin was buried. Probably the smokestack of the chimney, too. The smoke from the dying fireplace was filling the cabin. Looking around, it was no trouble finding the snow shovels. Scooping snow seemed to be the main job they did these days. Still crawling, Cam grabbed the shovel, reached the fireplace, and scooped up a glowing log. He didn't know how he was going to dig out, but these hot logs ought to be able to handle the snow. He stood, rushed to the wall of snow, and tossed the log right at it. It sunk out of sight. That opened a hole straight down to the ground around the bunkhouse. He stabbed the snow shovel deep, and it didn't reach air. How deeply were they buried? He carried a scoop of snow to the hearth and tossed it on the logs. They hissed and spat. Cam didn't wait for them to go out. He dropped low to breathe and found the steam coming off the fire was fresher than the air in the room. He sucked the air in, got plenty of smoke too, then grabbed more kindling, rushed to the open shutter, and tossed the logs out. They melted their way out of sight. Another scoop of snow dumped on the fireplace, another scoop of kindling out the window. He inhaled deeply. His head cleared as he rushed back and forth, snow in, logs out, back and forth. "Utah! Adam!" He hoped the air was clearing some and they might wake up. Neither of the men responded. With the logs gone, Cam still had no tunnel out to fresh air, and with no more fire to melt snow or cast its red glow, he realized how smoky the room still was. He looked around, thinking, and saw a broom. He snagged it, rushed to the fireplace, and stepped inside. The rock floor of the chimney was cooled by the snow. He crouched to avoid the mantel and could nearly stand up straight in the narrowing chimney. He poked the broom handle up and hit something solid. No snow fell. He didn't feel the chimney draw. Bracing his feet on either side of the fireplace, he climbed up as high as he could get before the chimney narrowed. He poked again and again, each jab harder, each more frantic. His thoughts became cloudy. His chest burned. Something caught on the end of the broomstick. He yanked down, and a black clump of something came down with it. And the smoke rushed past him. Heat rising had found a way out. He coughed as he dropped to the floor and crawled out of the chimney. The smoke thinned enough that he thought it would clear out completely now. They were still buried, but not smothering anymore. He ran to Utah's room. Utah slept like the dead. And that wasn't a word Cam liked. He checked for a pulse in Utah's neck. It was there, but light and too slow. Cam rushed to the window, which, despite the melted spots, was still completely blocked, grabbed a handful of snow, took it, and rubbed it on Utah's face. He yelped. Cam dragged him by the leg off the bed to get him lower, to cleaner air. Utah growled as he hit the floor. Even with the smoke hopefully thinning, Utah needed every advantage he could get. The cranky growl gave Cam hope. "Wake up! The bunkhouse is full of smoke!" Figuring Utah would make it, he ran for Adam's room, stopping to grab more snow. "Get up! Adam, move!" he shouted. "We're trapped. The room's full of smoke and the bunkhouse is buried in snow. We need to get out of here. On your feet!" Adam rolled out of bed as Cam entered his room. By the time Cam was sure he was going to wake up, Utah came out crawling. Utah's brain must have kicked in. "Dig in the window on the far side of the fireplace, the side near Adam's room. Last night, the snowdrifts were lowest on that side. Let's scoop out that way." Cam grabbed his shovel. "The front door wasn't blocked last night. Why not go that way?" "The wind was blowing in from that direction, and we'd scooped out a mighty thin path. It probably filled in deep." Utah was still crawling. Adam moved faster, so he and Cam set to digging, throwing snow into the bunkhouse with no care for the cold they brought in. "Cam, good thing you woke up. It saved us," Utah said, as he grabbed another shovel and staggered to his feet. "I got mighty lucky. It hit me about as hard as it hit you." He and Adam timed their digging to stay out of each other's way, and Utah got himself timed so he